All right, it looks like it's not going to be a great start to trade today, but we'll take it as a how it went. Yash is here with the latest. Yash, morning.
Well, Sonia, good morning. There's just one word to describe the Q3 numbers for ICICI Prudential, and that is terrible. Essentially, if you look at the quarter, your annualized premium equivalent, it's a miss as per CNBC-TV18 poll. Your value of new business, it's a miss again. And margins, it's a big miss there. As far as year-on-year comparative figures are concerned, AP has grown 5%. Your value of new business is down 29% on a year-on-year basis, and the margins on a year-on-year basis, they've come down by about 1100 basis points or 11%. Mind you, these are not the margins of a company. This is the margin erosion which ICICI Prudential Life has seen in the current quarter. Now, as far as today's trading session is concerned, the only thing that could really save the stock as far as any negative impact is concerned is valuations. In the last 6 months, the stock is up just about 1%. It's flat. In the last 3 months and in the last 1 month, as far as valuations are concerned, it trades at 1.6 times price to embedded value.
Okay, all right. Thanks a lot for that, Yash. But let's hop across to Rima. She's here to tell us about LTIMindtree. Rima?
Well, LTIMindtree has reported a muted quarter, and even the management commentary in the conference call was subdued. First, in the numbers, the company has reported a constant currency revenue growth of 0.7%. This is lower than consensus expectations of about 1%. Margins too have declined by 60 basis points to 15.4%. But now here's the commentary. The company said much deeper and broad-based furloughs impacted the performance this quarter. Q4 will be similar to Q3 in terms of growth because some of the furloughs will spill into Q4 as well. Even the guidance on the margins of 17 to 18% in terms of exit margins and for FY25 has been pushed forward in the medium term because the company still needs to make investments and the top line is going to be a bit under pressure. Nuvama, post the numbers, has cut their EPS estimates by 3.2% for this year. FY25 EPS has been cut as high as 8.9%. And their target price is lower to 7,000.
Okay, bad news comes in 2s and 3s, right? Rima, hi, morning. Happiest Minds, back to you.
Well, not so happy. It's a muted quarter from Happiest Minds. So constant currency revenue growth of 0.8% quarter-on-quarter. Year-on-year, it's a 9.4% revenue growth. But as you can see from the trend line, the revenue growth for the company has slowed down this quarter. Margins too have fallen by about 60 basis points on a sequential basis. And now the 9-month revenue growth stands at 11.5%, which is lower than the guidance of 12% that the company had given in the prior quarter. Back to you.
All right. And what about Oracle, Rima? How did it look?
Very strong numbers. So the company has reported a 26% revenue growth year-on-year and on a quarter-on-quarter basis. And the revenue growth for the company was stagnant around that 1,400 crore mark on a quarterly basis. But this quarter, it's jumped up to 1,820 crore. Margins too, because of the bump up in revenues, has inched up to 47-48% at the EBITDA level. And this is driving a 75-80% jump in the company's profitability. License sales have been very strong for the company. So it's a top-down strong quarter for Oracle Finance this time. Back to you.
Okay, all right. Rima, I'll come back to you for more a little later. But let's focus on NHPC as well. Vivek is standing by with details on this one. Vivek, hi, morning.
Well, good morning. So, DIPAM has launched an OFS where the government will be paying close to 3.5% stake in case they choose to subscribe to the oversubscription or the green shoe option. So the OFS is for the total of 3.5%, where 2.5% is the base option of this particular offer for sale, and another 1% is the green shoe option if the government chooses to subscribe it. The non-retail portion of the OFS opens today. The retail portion opens tomorrow. Remember, the government owns close to 71% stake, 70.95 to be precise. Also, remember, the shares are up almost 75% in the last year, so it's a good time to pair a bit of stake as far as the government is concerned. So when you're talking about the base issue size, 2.5% of the total equity, the base issue works out around a little over 1,650 crore. The green issue size is close to 1%. That works out to around 660 crore. So the total OFS size, as far as NHPC is concerned, is over 2,300 crore. Expect a marginal downtick given the fact that it is coming at a discount.
All right, thanks a lot for that. Well, Ekta is with us to talk about Sun Pharma and why you should be looking at that this morning. Ekta, over to you.
Well, yes, the news with regards to Sun Pharma is that they are going to be buying the remaining 21.5% stake in Taro, which is an NYSE listed company, which is going to be for $43 per share. They already own 78.5% stake in the company. The closing price was 41.28 yesterday, so it's a marginal premium. So the total outflow for Sun Pharma would be $347.8 million or around 2,800 odd crores. Now the purchase price, remember, is a 48% premium to the first time that Sun had submitted of a non-binding bid, which was in May of 2023. Now, like I mentioned, Sun holds 78.5% stake in Taro. They had initially proposed to purchase the stake at $38 per barrel, $38, but now it's going to be a premium. What is going to happen is that they're going to take the company private. It's going to be a part of Sun Pharma on a consolidated basis, and it's going to be delisted from the New York Stock Exchange. Now, analysts say that largely this is a neutral development only because the street was factoring it in. They were expecting it to happen. And but the positive is that Taro has a significant amount of cash on books, which now Sun Pharma is going to get. And hence that would be the positive. But today, maybe there could be a sentiment red simply because of what the market situation is.
Okay, all right. Thanks a lot for that, Ekta. Well, let's hop across to Nimesh. Nimesh, how many times do I say it? You told us first, and now it's official.
Yes.
Tell us about that Pricol large trade. You know, you were out, but you said, let's do that phone and bang on. The bulk details, they do confirm that. Go ahead.
Yes, Nigel. So the bulk details do confirm that Minda has finally exited. They've sold their entire 15% stake in Pricol. So the one-year-long battle of a possible takeover finally ends with this exit now. It's positive for Pricol because that overhang is out of the way and there could be no further war in terms of pricing, or even Pricol doesn't need to buy from the open market to protect their stake. So in that way, it's a positive read-through for Pricol. Even for Minda, it's positive because with this transaction, they've done a treasury gain of little over 250 crores by selling their entire 15% stake in the open market. The good part is for Pricol, there was no big leakage, and some large marquee investors, both FIs and DIs, bought from Minda in the service block deal. So I'll go with green for both Minda as well as for Pricol after Minda exiting its entire 15% via block deal yesterday.
All right, that's a good one. Nimesh, congratulations, as always. Thanks very much for that. Sobha is the next one, which we're focusing on. Sonal is standing by with that one. Sonal, morning.
Good morning, Prashant. Well, Sobha, the board will be meeting on 22nd of January, and this is for a fundraise, and they will be doing this fundraise via rights issue as per the release by the company. Now, remember, this is a company which has been reducing debt in last couple of quarters. Their debt stands at 1,400 crore rupees after seeing a decline of almost 1,300 crore rupees. So it's an interesting time. They're talking about a big capex, a big pipeline, so they might be needing more funds for that. And also remember, the stock is a big mover. This year itself, it's up around 30%, so it will be in focus till the time they decide the rights issue and the amount as well.
Okay, thanks for that, Sonal. Well, let's wind this down with Upasana, who's telling us about some more stocks in the news. Upasana?
Well, first up is Indiabulls Housing. The board has approved fundraising of up to 5,000 crores, and the fundraise will be via issue of equity shares or any other convertible securities via private placement basis. Next up is Nazara Tech. The board has approved fundraising of up to 250 crores via issuance of 28 lakh equity shares at 872 per share. The funds will be mainly utilized to invest in the funding requirements and growth objectives of the company for making strategic acquisitions and general corporate purposes. While marquee investors such as Nikhil Kamath, ICICI Prudential Mutual Fund, Plutus Wealth to increase their stake in the company via preferential issue.
All right, that's on Nazara Tech. But let's do one thing. Let's take a quick recap of all the stocks in focus. Stocks with positive news flow. There's Oracle, Pricol, Indiabulls, Nazara Tech and Sobha. While stocks with negative news flow, ICICI Prudential, LTIMindtree, Happiest Minds, NHPC and Sun Pharma.